Milton and welcome back to Fitness Fire. You are right here live on the show where I talk about all the hottest topics of the fitness industry. Today, we're going to dive into these Netflix documentaries, these different documentaries that pop up on Netflix, and I'm going to give you something to think about regarding all those, alright? Please make sure you do me a favor, you subscribe to my channel, you share the video, and you give me a thumbs up or a comment if you get anything out of it, which I guarantee you that you will. And keep in mind, I'm not asking you to subscribe just for Fitness Fire. I got 5 other shows that I run every single week, all week, with brand new, exciting, good content that you need to have if you want to get further with your health and fitness goals, alright? Let's dive right on in. This is Ryan Milton. This is Fitness Fire. Alright, so I want to talk today about the Netflix documentaries, okay? And the reason I want to bring this up is for my years as a coach. Since Netflix has been a streamable thing, I don't know how long it's been now. I remember when Netflix, it came in an envelope and it was a damn DVD you had to put in your TV. But now obviously Netflix is a behemoth and it is out there, it's streaming, it's online, you can watch whatever. They got all sorts of new movies and things that pop up all the time. Y'all know what Netflix is, I don't need to go into this, okay? Point is, with Netflix, there's always these documentaries that pop up regarding health and wellness, health and fitness, bodybuilding, all these different things. All these sorts of different documentaries, stuff about the keto diet, stuff about doing juice fast, stuff about doing paleo and about veganism and so on and so forth. There is so many of these damn documentaries that come up that are fitness related. It's crazy. And what always happens, I'll tell you straight up, as long as I've been a coach now, these things have been out there, people will go watch them. People go watch these movies, these documentaries, and then they'll radically want to change everything they've been doing regarding their health and fitness or their training, their nutrition, or whatever, right? They'll literally watch some movie and be influenced instantly. I'll get a message in the middle of the night that says, hey, can we change to this? I just watched this and then I wanted to see what happens. And I'm going to tell you straight up, all the documentaries that are ever out there, no matter what documentary you watch, it is all made in the eye of whoever made the documentary, okay? So you have to think about the fact that there is an agenda behind what is being shown to you. While certain things may be factual, certain things may also not. And certain things might reflect one side of research but not show you the other side. And there's always another side of the coin, and what too many people do is they watch one side of the coin and then they assume that everything they heard is accurate, they assume everything they heard is absolutely true, they assume that that's how it should be, what they should do, and then they radically change course with whatever they're doing, alright? Over the years, the amount of people that watch these vegan documentaries that jump to veganism overnight and think that that's the absolute solution for them, it's crazy. The people that have watched the keto ones and they jump to keto, or they watch a juice fast and now they want to do a 30-day juice fast. It's crazy the amount of things that come up out of these documentaries and how people radically want to change years and years of stuff that they've been doing or they've been learning or whatever overnight based on documentaries. So what I want to tell you all to do, okay, and I encourage you to do this with anything I say, anything that's ever done, anything period that you ever hear about. Never go and just go all in on it, okay? Like, obviously, there are certain things, certain people, certain different mentors and whatever that you want to pay attention to, you want to learn from. People like me, right? I do these shows, I do these channels, I tell you all these things, but guess what? I'm never telling you to take it as pure gold. I'm telling you to take the information, take my opinion, and then figure out your own conclusion to that answer, okay? And that's what I do with everything. That's what you should also do with Netflix documentaries. Personally, I'm doing this with every information I hear from even people I trust, even people that I, would engage with or follow or look at as a mentor to, or any of the information that comes out. I say, okay, cool. Let me hear about this topic. Let me learn about this topic. Let me learn whatever I can here. And then let me go deeper. Let me dig in more. Let me learn more about that topic. Let me learn a different side of you. I want to hear the exact opposite side of the coin. And then I want to hear that 10 more times. Then maybe I want to hear some pushing the same agenda and hear that 10 more times. And then by the end of that, after I've done some research, after I've done some studying, if I've gone to websites like PubMed, which is where you can research all things that have ever been researched basically on there and look at the actual research yourself. Well, guess what you can do now? Now you can say, okay, I've heard both sides of the coin. I've heard all sides of the story. There may have been an agenda here, may have been one there, but I'm going to go ahead and look at what makes the most sense to me. What's the most factual? What does the research actually show based on my interpretation of it? And then say, okay, well, maybe I want to do X, Y, and Z now. Okay? What you should never do, ever do, is hear one opinion opinion, one side of coin, one answer, and assume that that is the golden answer for you. Sure, certain things may work. You might get lucky. Maybe you do see a documentary about being keto, you do keto, and it's perfect for you. Maybe you do watch a documentary about being a vegan and you try veganism and you love it. Maybe those things happen, but it definitely doesn't happen for everybody. And these things that come out, these Netflix documentaries, all types of documentaries, I'm just using Netflix documentaries as an example because I know a lot of people watch them, but any type of documentary, anything you'd ever see, this goes down to the social media posts that you follow from different influencers and different coaches. Never, ever, ever take everything. It's just 100% gold. You got to make your own answer, your own interpretation. You got to see what you actually believe, see what lines up with you, and see what makes the most sense to you. Because even though the answer could be right for someone like me telling you something, or a Netflix documentary telling you something, or so on and so forth, there's always more information than you actually get in that moment, right? If I tell you one thing on a video that you watch for 10 minutes, it's not likely that you're an expert at it. It's not likely you've done everything that I've done to decide what I was going to tell you and tell you what my opinion was and tell you everything else. And it's also not guaranteed that I'm going to tell you all the other things that I had to learn and go through and process through and figure out and study and years of this and that and going this way, that way before I told you that answer. And so with that, what you always got to do, no matter who you are, what you're doing, if you're a competitor, if you're a lifestyle client, if you're maybe a coach even, you always got to study, you always got to learn, you always got to invest yourself in understanding that, hey, if it's your body, if it's your training, if it's your nutrition, if it's your wellness, your longevity, your basic goal existence as a human being, well, guess what you got to do? You got to put a little bit of effort into it. You got to put a little investment into it. And I encourage everybody to always learn, always study, research the things Coach Wright tells you. Look it up. Get your own answers. If you line up with me, awesome. If you don't, that's also awesome. Good for you. Figure out what makes the most sense. But please stop with the Netflix or any type of documentaries where you watch it and now you just believe it. Don't ever just believe it. Take everything with a grain of salt first, study it, learn it, and then maybe you do believe it, and that's fine, that's great, good for you, awesome, but you have to make sure that you do that step between. Don't just observe, don't just hear one thing, don't just pay attention once and then jump to any conclusion, because if you do that, I can promise you, you're going to get on the wrong path so many different times, right? If you went to the magazine section at the store, back when there was actually people that read all these magazines, they still have them though. You go to like, well, you know, one of these big bookstores or something, they got 300 different magazines for you to choose from. Well, if you grabbed every fitness magazine that was in there and you just read the cover, if you just read the cover about what it's going to talk about, keto is this, paleo is this, how to get abs in 6 days, how to, you know, all these different things, and if you all the time took those at face value, you would be never getting results anywhere, because you jumped to 300 different things that wouldn't actually do anything for you. And it's because at the end of the day, the face value, the beginning of what you see, the documentary you watched, the one thing you saw on Instagram, the one thing that told you this and that, it's not enough to get you a result. It's not enough to tell you the truth. It's not enough to show you what's going to work, and it's for sure not enough to get you where you want to be. So please make sure that as you go through your life, as you go through any of this stuff, as you watch these documentaries, as you listen to these coaches, you pay attention to the experts, all the influencers, whatever, always understand that you got to invest yourself. You got to find the right thing for you, and you only do that by learning as much as you can. What I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, is become a sponge. Literally absorb as much stuff. Don't even make an opinion about anything until you've absorbed so much of it that now you have a million different answers, and then you can kind of clump all that together and figure out what makes the most sense to you. That's what I encourage you all to do. For resources, for more research, Google things, look things up. Great place to go, pubmed.com. Tons of awesome research. I encourage everybody to do this. Again, please fact check me. Look up the things I say. Look up the stuff you hear on the show. Do whatever you can to make sure that you are doing the real research, and that's the whole point of this video. I know it was a shorter version of Fitness Fire today, and I didn't really dig too far into any crazy topics, but this is actually so important. If you took exactly what I said today and you just started doing that with everything in your life, honestly, even outside your fitness, you would be able to solve a lot more problems. You would find yourself in a lot less shitty scenarios, and you would have a lot less stress because you would be in control. You would feel more in control of what's going on instead of just taking a gamble on a juice fast, or maybe, you know, deciding to nix meat out of your life forever because you watched a 2-hour documentary on Netflix. All right, so with that, please make sure you understand that. Please make sure you start doing that. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, you share the video, and you come back tomorrow for Gains of Clock, because I'll be here answering all your questions. Thank you for watching. Coach Wright is out.